Yo, 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 one,
Morning.
two, 1, 2, what it do, man? Put the scene on your screen. It might get obscene today. So I'm just putting that out there. Just letting y'all know. Amdrock J, because the Fadeaway Perfect is on the scene. Views from the 22. We have paid our Illuminati dues. We are up to par and up to speed. So most of these picks are going to be correct. Most of the things that we say are going to be are going to give life. This is what we're
Yes.
here for. We're here to illuminate, but we don't do all that weird stuff that Cat Williams talked about. Um, Anywho, let me go ahead and just pass this around the board so that y'all can go ahead and understand the usual suspects. No Kevin Spacey. Um, Mo, go ahead and talk to the people, man. I
Hey
can get
man, listen, it's a beautiful Sunday. Weather's getting a little colder, this time of the year in certain regions across the world.
yes, sir.
Uh, but it's still manageable. It's still okay. But it's still okay. As far as the games today, some very key games that are gonna determine the script for the rest of the year.
Mm.
Particularly with the trade deadline coming up, some injuries happening. So I'm excited to see it. I'm gonna go ahead and share these links, and then I'm gonna jump right back on.
Let's get it. All right, so we got to always give him a proper introduction. I mean, he probably was a wrestler in this form of life. Um, we're gonna bring him on to the scene. We're gonna bring him on. Germ So True, let's talk to the people, man.
1 second, we're logging in to the other side.
Oh, okay. See, y'all get to see the behind the scenes thing. So I guess it was meant for me to tell my backstory. Why y'all here? So we go on the trip. We come back. Oh, y'all laughing already. I didn't even say it yet. So I come back, you know what I'm saying, from I don't know where we was. It wasn't none of y'all business anyway. But we come back and I'm on the phone just talking regular to my people. My wife calls me to the room. I'm thinking it might be, nasty time. So I'm like, yeah, hold on. So I go up there and she points to the window. In the window, there's this creature that looks
Oh
marsupial.
Lord.
It's brown. I'm like, it can't be a mouse or a rat because how the hell it got up there? I don't know what this animal is. So, you know, wifey told me I think it's a bat. I'm like, what the hell is bats doing in my window right now? I come home to a bat in my window and that thing just stuck like it was like a ninja. It was wild. It was about this big, but it was wild. It was just stuck in the window. So I'm just looking like first off how I get in the window. So I go outside. I'm looking in the window. I'm like, oh, it slid in between the crack of the screen door and the window in between. It got in between them. So I mean, I can't call wildlife. They cost $1,000. It's just not gonna happen. So I go get the ladder. You know what I'm saying? I go up in there. I take this long piece of wood. Now, mind you, shout out to my wife. I love that she cares about me. But certain things you just got to be ignorant towards because it helps you with your fearlessness. So she reminded me that bats carry rabies, and the rabies ain't what scared me. It's the treatment and the payment I got to give to the hospital that scares me. I actually would rather just die of rabies after dealing with all of the shots and the $15,000 bill. So now I'm worried about the rabies. Fuck the bat. I'm worried about the rabies. So I'm getting this bat out. It's moving while I'm moving. I'm on like the second to highest
Oh
on the
no.
ladder. Second to highest on the ladder. And my neighbor cutting grass, by the way. So he's witnessing all of this. So I had a BA moment. I did scream a little bit. Fuck y'all. I did. But let me explain. So so
Oh my
the
God.
bat, I moved it. The bat came down and just flew out of nowhere. So I did when Uncle Phil threw Jeff out. It was one of them. It wasn't no. It wasn't. I got bass in my voice, fam. Don't try me.
It's
It,
all
it,
right.
it,
It's all right. It's
yeah.
all
So
right.
I was like and I jumped off the ladder. So I used to have a tendonitis in my knee. I used to have a torn meniscus in my knee. I jumped off the second to highest part of the ladder and landed while this man cut the grass looking at me like I'm crazy. But it was because of the rabies. It wasn't the bat, it was the rabies. If my wife would have never told me about the rabies, I would have been a G about it. So that's my story. You know, y'all can judge me if y'all want, but I don't see none of y'all motherfuckers getting on the ladder, getting a bat out your window, and when it flies towards you, you gonna be gangster. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many bodies you have on your gun. You not gonna be gangster if a bat flies at you with the rabies on his fangs.
Nope. Right. You better than me.
Right?
Listen, I had a real quick, Germ. I had a basement. I had a bat in my basement years and years ago.
Ooh, it's in the house.
In the house.
Ooh.
Call the cops.
Yeah.
I said, y'all gotta come deal with this. I ain't.
No, we ain't. let's not get it twisted. If it was in my house,
I call 911.
Like, hey, we moving. It's the best house now.
So all them Batman logos for nothing. So anyway,
I'm the real Batman now.
This was before
I'm the real Batman now. Until y'all go on a ladder and get a bat out y'all window and dodge rabies, y'all can't claim it. I'm Batman.
I was born by it.
Oh my God!
Right, I was born in it. I was molded by it.
Oh Lord, man.
Well, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
What's up, True? What's up, True?
It's been a long week. You know, I got some festivities, activities.
Yeah, man.
Parlay. I should be Germ Soleil Par. You know, after Thursday. Thursday was a day, baby. I was in there like Pop Smoke as a baby.
Yeah, Jamar Chase helped us all out.
So Mo, you want to know something funny? I hit for it was everybody but Jamar for me. How? Listen, Flacco, Rodgers.
Okay, yeah.
DK got exactly what I needed him to get.
Exactly. Exactly.
Woo!
Yup. I've had DK for 3 receptions and 50 yards, and that's exactly what he got.
And for my gamblers, we have reached that stage now. We have reached that stage to where teams are getting their footing. Take the over on all Thursday games. Nobody feel like hitting.
Yeah.
The offenses are now getting rhythm now. Take the over. If Cincinnati's scoring 30 plus on a Thursday, at this point, just bet the over on anything.
Yeah, the Thursday night matchups this year have been money. They have been money in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, True? Yes. Before we jump into it, before I pass it over to the quarterback, couple notable injuries. We still got about 2 hours before kickoff in case you missed it. No Debo, no Terry McLaurin, no Noah Brown, no Trayvon Diggs. He had a concussion at home. No Garrett Wilson, no David Njoku for the Browns, and Josh Jacobs is a true game time decision for the Green Bay Packers. We got a lot more to talk about, but those are some of the big ones to be noted. Just keep an eye on Josh Jacobs. He was added to the injury report last night with an illness, and they're saying he is a true game time decision. And then there's another offensive player on the Packers who was also listed with an illness. So you wonder what kind of breakout happened there, but hopefully nobody else gets infected or whatever. But just keep that in mind. But we got some good games. It's gonna be a pretty quick show. MJ, you got the itinerary, you got the game plan.
Absolutely.
You calling the plays. Let's do it.
All right, so just to give y'all what we're going to talk about, we're going to discuss the Hall of Fame discussion of Joe Flacco versus Russell Wilson. We're also going to talk about championship rosters, the culture, talent, or both, discussing Tua's comments. We're also going to bring up Deshaun Watson, if he's going to be a starter again, or should he get his massage therapist license. And then we're going to go into the picks. So let's go ahead and just start with the conversation of the Hall of Fame discussion. Is Joe Flacco more worthy than Russell Wilson? So I'm going to go ahead and just speak my piece on this, and then we're going to pass it around the horn. So the NFL has reached a level now to where the Hall of Fame is no longer a room, it's a building. So what I mean by that is the game has evolved enough to where you could have guys who did their job at a high level and they may be able to get into the building, but they probably may or may not have a wristband to get to the VIP room. So, and also too, it's very frustrating from guys who've put work in, who have, may have overstayed their welcome, that we judge them in present time as opposed to judging them on what they have contributed to the league. Do not make the mistake that Russell Wilson and Joe Flacco played in the league where you were still able to hit quarterbacks and they were not protected. And they have came out with rings. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget it. So do I put them in the same room? Do they have the platinum wristband? Probably not. But are they Hall of Famers? Yes, they're Hall of Famers. They are. And as we enter into this new era, new generation, it's going to be more and more sketchy because it's going to be a lot of inflated stats with
definitely
no substance. And there may be people with substance without the stats. And this is how the building's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's going to leave room for interpretation. So I say all of that to say, be responsible when you talk about something like this. Because everybody's entitled to their opinion, but if they get inducted into the Hall of Fame, that's just what it is. There ain't nothing to argue no more. So we're gonna go ahead and pass this along. I don't care who grab it. Pause.
Jeremy, you want to go?
Unless we talk about Hall of Fame and said players are not retired yet completely. Why must we talk about things that don't mean anything right now in the current state of the matrix that we are in? See,
it's all relevant.
See, here's the problem. It doesn't matter if Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer or not. It doesn't matter if Joe Flacco is a Hall of Famer or not. I think we just don't have much to talk about right now. So this is something that the world wants to talk about. Like, y'all are insane. All this good football out here, basketball season about to start. Ohtani out here hitting 3 home runs and striking out 10 people. And y'all want to talk about Joe Flacco and Russell Wilson? Y'all want to talk about Sierra's husband. It's so bad. It is so. Listen, he don't move the needle for me. He's not a needle mover for me. With that being said, neither is Joe Flacco. I think Joe Flacco has had a better career to a certain extent than Russ. I think Joe is a little bit more accomplished as a passer than Russ is. However, what I will say is I do think Joe also played for a better, more stable organization. And I think that now with me saying a stable organization, you're seeing now on the back end of his career that it's not that he was ever a bad player. More than anything, now that he's a journeyman quarterback, just like Russ is, you kind of just get to see that them in different situations. And in the Cleveland situation, he made a playoff push. In the Cincinnati situation, he's making up another push for that team to be relevant as well. And then with Baltimore, he kept that team relevant for a while. I'm not saying that he was the only reason, but he was a part of it, a part of the success. So he's been a part of the success in an AFC North division, which is probably one of the tougher ones in football, which is probably one of the ones that we can note and say is probably one of the most intriguing, hard-hitting, heartfelt divisions in the league. So yeah. I just feel like, altogether, I think those are some things there that could probably separate them. But I'm not going to do the thing where I rank one above the other, because right. I do think that they both bring different things to the table. And I think for what Russ did, Russ came in as a 3rd-round pick. See, I don't like comparing quarterbacks that are 1st-round picks with the expectation and then 3rd-round picks without the expectation or things like that sometimes, because this is not like it's a Tom Brady and Peyton Manning situation. What it more is more like a Sam Darnold and a Josh Rosen situation, or a Sam Darnold and a Baker Mayfield type of situation. 2 comparable quarterbacks who got some opportunities. But the difference is they just didn't start their careers in bad places. They started their careers with more stable coaches. Coaching matters. That's the difference of why we say coaches don't win them, but they do lose them. Pete and John are probably two of the top 5 in the last 20 years.
Yeah,
no doubt.
So that's my take.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, so here's why I brought up this subject this week. Okay. I like chaos. Number one.
Yes. You toxic.
Yes. Yeah, we know this. This has been established. As of Friday morning, Joe Flacco has more career passing yards than Russell Wilson.
Nice.
As of Friday morning. Not as of Thursday morning, as of Friday morning. So I got to thinking, well, who's more likely to end up with more career passing yards? Probably going to be Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
And Joe served as a backup slash offensive coordinator assistant over several years in his career after he left Baltimore. But wherever he's been labeled as a stabilizer, as a mentor, as a leader, as a locker room booster. Whereas with Russ, it's been the complete opposite narrative since Super Bowl 49.
Okay.
So that's where this came in. The other thing where Germ said it wasn't relevant, I am no scientist, okay? But we are all have heard about the theory of relativity. In that theory, there is something called I'm reading this, by the way. In that theory, there is something called the time dilation, where time passes more slowly for an object moving at a high speed relative to a stationary observer. Joe Flacco is a stationary observer. For Russell Wilson, these last few years have just changed the perception completely of how we view him on the field and off the field. And all I'm saying, if we factor in everything that goes into whatever criteria you have, and I believe one of Mr. True's criteria was impact, then I would say that there is more mass on the Joe Flacco Hall of Fame argument, whereas Russell Wilson, gravity is holding him down in that conversation. And we're going to leave that conversation there.
We'll leave it at that, only because it is a perfect segue to the next question that we have, which is it teams or is it culture? So, as I say this, again, I'll give my quick 2 cents and then I'll leave them for the rest of the 98. As I say this, understand this. 2 things can be right at the same time.
Yes.
Quick crossover to 94 Feet of Life. Make sure y'all watch that. Kevin Durant made the argument that offense wins championships. And here's my take on that. You're correct. But so does defense. 2 rights, 2 things can be right at the same time. Yeah, sometimes things are not a choice. You need championship culture. You need a championship team. 2 rights can be right at the same time. There is no compromise. Like, for a balanced diet, I got to eat fruits and vegetables. I don't get to choose between whether I eat fruits and vegetables or eat meat and dairy. I don't get to choose. I got to eat all of it.
True.
For a balanced diet.
True.
For my body to have its maximum performance, I have to eat all of it. I need for y'all to stop trying to figure out which department or which situation is the more important one. Because what's going on is you are deflecting the thing that the world has put on you, in which you feel like it's not enough for everybody, so you feel like it has to be a competition and something has to be first. When in actuality, if you migrate to the team mindset, you understand that all parts are movable and work the same. In a car, the smallest part could be the reason why it don't start.
Absolutely.
This little plastic 89-cent part is the reason why your car can't move.
Little stupid solenoids. Go ahead.
So, yeah, it's small. Yeah, it's only 89 cents. It's not the same value as an engine in which you got to drop and do all sorts of stuff to be able to switch it out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, that car won't move without either part.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes the stupidest little thing, you do got to drop, whether it's the engine or the transmission, or you got to move this and take that out. You're absolutely right. And if you don't mind me taking it from here.
Oh, yeah, that's it. I'm good.
I think it goes back to what you coined years ago, and me and Jerm run with it all the time with the Rexes and Joes versus the X's and O's. And when we talk about Rexes and Joes, I always mention it in terms of like players' abilities on the field to fit the X's and O's. But you also you got to go into the locker room.
Yeah.
And as Vince Lombardi once said, 53 men playing together can't lose. And I think if you look at teams that have won throughout history, even if it's guys that just catch lightning in a bottle, that's not a coincidence. It's not purely X's and O's. It's not purely who's the better quarterback, who has the better roster, who's the better coach. Because if that was the case, the 2017 Eagles would have never beaten the 2017 Patriots. You could run that in Madden 100 times, and the Patriots would have won 99 times out of 100.
Yep.
But the human element remains the most important part of any sport. The human element remains the most important part of any collective goal, whether that's sports, whether that's a company, whether that's a family, whether that's a congregation. And so I think when we look at certain things throughout history and we say, oh, why didn't this player win more? Or why isn't this player catching stability? Which is why we brought up the Russell situation first. Because I think we really have to point out that, the Seahawks defense, they could have been a dynasty had certain things been in place. You look at the 2017 Patriots, 16, 17, 18. Jerm and I talked about this at length. They could have been, they easily could have, should have, would have been the first team to three-peat had certain egos not gotten in the way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Bulls, why did that end up breaking up? Michael Jordan didn't retire because he was old. So I think when you look at it, I'm going to let Jerm jump in because we can go so many ways with this conversation. Yeah. We can go around the horn more than once. Yeah. I think when you look at it, it just goes to show that no matter where we are in this world, and this is sort of a bigger message, whether it's analytics, whether it's AI, and the continued advancement of technology, we can never replace the human element, nor should we ever want to replace the human element.
Correct. Jerm, go ahead, cook, man.
I mean, I don't think, again, I don't think it's a right or wrong answer here to this, because I think, I'm going to take a different approach to him. It's no such thing as always being wrong. I think life is always a glass half empty, glass half full situation, and dwelling in this said gray area is not a bad place to be sometimes, because perspective is what this is, the proverbial fence that we call it. I think culture is important, and things like that. But on the other side, I think that's important too. I think it really just is where the rubber meets the road. That's the best way to say it. It has to be a situation where everybody is bought in to the same common goal. Number one, speaking from my personal career now as a manager, my job collectively is to make sure that everybody believes in the same goal that I'm trying to get. So one of my goals is I want to be a training store. So what does it mean to be a training store? That means I need to get 16, 25 people to always do the right thing. What does it mean to do the right thing? Because right is subjective. Well, the right thing is to get the guests the best possible service that they can get. That does not compromise the integrity of the restaurant. Now, you notice I said that doesn't compromise the integrity of the restaurant. That means we can't just give you money out the cash register. It means we can't just give you food off of merit. Has to be a reason why. The reason why I bring that up and I say that is because getting people to buy in is part of what a head coach's job is.
Yep.
That's what the head coach's job is. The general manager's job is to talk to the head coach and ask the head coach what he feels would be the things that will help their roster get over the top. Collectively, though, they have to have the same vision. The same vision, meaning if me, Mo, and Vic used to always say, if we had ever had a team that we would separate the departments because everybody can cook in their own way.
Yeah.
Not because we couldn't work together, but because we know separately we can cook in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And Mo says, I don't care what happens. I know that you guys are going to bring me the best players.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know at the end of the day, vice versa, I would do the same for you. But most importantly, I know that we're looking at this game through the same lens with the same objective at the end of the day. We might believe that Vic might say he wants a pass rusher, but me and Jerm believe separately that we can scheme pressure and we would rather pay the back end people who can cover.
Yeah. It's true. No, it's true.
So it's not saying that we don't think that we can't accommodate Vic and get a pass rusher. What it's saying that we probably could mix it and do both. Right. But the most important part is in the building, we would be willing to try it either way and live with the results, because at the end of the day, there's the same common goal. It's the same energy. It's the same objective. And I think that is the part right there. That's the middle piece right there. And that's the word right there that needs to combine those two together. Objective. If you do not have the same objective, if you do not have the same mission, you are therefore not going to reach the said goal. And that is why I think that there is a gray area with that. I'm going to pass it back to you, MJ, and let's go back around if we want to.
I'll say this, and if you guys want to go around, it's cool. We got plenty of time. So I'll say this. What happened in sports, it didn't happen on purpose, because what really happened was players understood how much money was being made, and they believed that they should have gotten more compensation from it, which led to front offices making the decision as to which position or which person is more important than another and divvying up the proceeds that way. Well, what it has done, though, is it's created a situation where you just individualized a team objective subconsciously. Because how could I continue a dynasty when it's one band, one sound, but this person automatically decided that this man is worth $300 million and this man is worth $4 million?
Right.
And in the NFL, it gets sketchy to me because it's based on position and not on performance.
Hand me my bag.
So that's what it gets sketchy. Like, at least in the NBA, like, this dude is literally carrying the blunt of the work. You really can't argue why he's getting $50 million a year. Whether he wins or not, that's, something else. But you can't deny why he has earned this money. There are some quarterbacks who have earned that money, but are probably not even top 5 on their team. Because the decision has just been made that this position is just more important than anything you can do, which, how can that not draw how could that not draw controversy within a locker room in a sport in which you need your locker room and culture to be on the same page?
Yeah, Jerm.
Listen, man. Mo, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to say a couple things. I'm going to let you go and come back to me. First of all, MJ, thank you. Okay. Because this needs to be said. I understand the quarterback handles the ball 100% of the time on offense, right? Mm-hmm. But every quarterback ain't worth the same type of dollars. So every quarterback ain't worth the same type of dollars. Your quarterback should be ideally your best mental player, not your best player. Your best players should be where, Mo? on
Tackle,
the defensive side of the ball.
edge, corners.
It should be all the complementary pieces.
Yep.
Those are the guys that should be your best players.
Yeah.
Your quarterback should be probably bottom 15. He should be ranked where the kickers and the punters are as far as talent on your team. We are in a stage in the NFL now because the quarterbacks are getting more athletic that the quarterbacks are now top 15 on the roster. What does that compromise? What is that damaging? We're combining a quarterback who has to throw the ball, and then we're asking him to run the ball. So now we got a quarterback and a running back. So now the running back now is now being ostracized. That's the proper word?
You're right.
It's all right. Because now the running back is losing 6 to 7 carries a game because those are for the quarterback. So now when the running back comes to the table and wants to negotiate their deal for 16 carries a game, why would I give you $25 million? So how are we going to eliminate that problem? I think it's a team by team basis, right? But I think we start to see the difference in championship makeup and DNA based on how your roster is constructed. And it's not just having the best athletes. It's also about having intellectual players that don't just fit one specific scheme or one specific thing. They can do multiple things and give multiple looks and multiple different stresses for a defense or an offense. Well, go ahead from there.
So
I know I set you up to cook, so go ahead.
Well, I think again, I'm gonna try and not be redundant here.
Yeah.
So I think everything you said about the X's and O's standpoint is so critically important for everybody to sort of digest, because one thing about the NFL, one thing about a game, about a 60-minute game, is if you measure it by stats, you're going to come out short. A great NFL game plan is like a great boxer's mindset. It's not all about hooks, not all about jabs, not all about counterpunching. You got to have a mix of things, and you got to have things that set up things and things that lead to things. There isn't anybody who is a football aficionado that will disagree with this following statement. The running game typically has more success in the second half than it does in the first half. So I think it's important that we don't get too happy with the quarterback rushing standpoint, because I think, like Germs completely highlighted, it takes away from other things you would like to set up later in the game when it matters, when it truly, truly matters. That's number one. Number two, back to the culture. The big reason why I think culture matters more in the NFL, in the NBA, in baseball, in hockey, is because the talent gap isn't that far off.
No.
It really isn't. Like, yeah, you have your Jamar Chases and your Justin Jeffersons and your Antonio Browns and you name them, your Pat Surtains. You know, yeah, you have your Myles Garretts and your TJ Watts. You have those guys that are in their upper echelon. We get all that. But when you go to the bulk of the team and the bulk of the rosters around the league, there isn't a huge gap. Just like at the end of the year, when you evaluate the wins and losses, there isn't a huge reason why this team won 7 games and this team won 10 games. That usually isn't a talent issue. That's usually a coaching issue and a culture issue. And one thing that I'm going to highlight that's on my mind right now is look at the Kansas City Chiefs. In case you don't know, Josh Simmons, their number 1 draft pick in the first round, left tackle, a position that is the second most important on building an NFL roster.
Yes.
A position that throughout their dynasty, which is amazing, has sort of been a musical chair type situation.
Mm-hmm.
For somebody that they drafted to be a staple, to stabilize, to permanently plug in and seal the second most important position. He's been away from the team for the last 2 weeks for personal reasons. You have all these guys in the reporter industry: Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, all fantastic people, all fantastic at their job.
Yeah.
They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea. Nobody's reporting anything, and the Chiefs haven't said anything. Now, there's guys on social media, fan pages, whatever, that are like just, oh, we need to know. We have a right to know. No, you don't. It's none of your business. It's none of our business. It's none of anybody's business whatsoever. And I think it's so reflective and so like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it shows, it represents, it's such a good representation of who the Kansas City Chiefs have been under this regime, under the Hunts, under Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Because it's nobody's business. And they are protecting this player's privacy. We understand, as an athlete, enough exposure comes with it. As a professional athlete. And MJ could give you firsthand experience off of that.
Yeah.
And so I think it's so important to keep in mind that culture is the bridge for talent.
Yeah.
And that's what's so important to me. So if I truly had to choose, while yes, I totally agree, it's a balanced diet, but in a professional league where there's nobody in the professional leagues that isn't good.
Of course.
There's nobody in the professional leagues that wouldn't go play pickup or backyard and wouldn't absolutely destroy. So I think it's when in a professional league where the talent gap isn't huge, culture matters more because it bridges that talent.
Agreed.
Let's throw this one little curveball at you real quick. One more thing just to give us something else to think about. And while that might be true, here's the one other thing too. If you don't have any players in a culture or any staples or any people who are prominent in that culture, then there is no culture to begin with.
Too much of anything will kill you.
So just make sure you understand that's where there may be the contrast, but there is still the understanding of you still need pillars in order for you to build it. You can't build a culture without some pillars. And the reason why they give certain positions the pillar name is because those are supposed to be the foundation or the backbone of the said team. So for basketball, it's the point guard in the center. For football, it's the left tackle, the quarterback, the cornerback, and the defensive end. Those are the pillars supposedly of a team. But every team is built differently, Chief. My pillar could be my middle linebacker that knows everything that's going on, every snap. That's a film warrior. And then my other pillar on the other side of the ball could be my running back that picks up every blitz protection and does everything else that we need to do over here. And he's more valuable sometimes than my quarterback is.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, that's our way of contrasting, but still be on the same page, because if you're true to the game, no pun intended, you understand that the game doesn't have just one way to win. You don't win one way, because great winners win multiple ways.
Yeah, and it's up to everything that's working to be able to see certain things and be able to be flexible enough to be able to pivot to get to where you need to go to get maximized production. So great discussion starting off. I hope y'all really screen record that, because these are discussions that a lot of people need to have when you come to a comparable situation, or when you just actually can approach it in life. Every department is needed, but some departments are valued more, even if the culture is saying that all of y'all are needed. And it just is what it is. So moving on, we're going to start with the week 7. The first game I'm going to start with is important that I start with this game because it's going to lead to our last question. First game I'm starting with is Miami Dolphins, Cleveland Browns.
Yes, love it.
All right, so the spread is +2.5 Miami. They got a total points of 34.5. And money line for Miami is plus 120, while Cleveland is negative 140. Both teams are 1-5. So, at this point you can flip a coin. But once again, this game is important to talk about first because of the question that we're going to ask. So, injury report, please, Mo.
Yes, sir. So David Njoku, as we mentioned, is out. A big part of why that money line, that number is so low, that 35.5, 34.5, is because of the weather. Expecting it to be pretty much a little mini hurricane that's going to be coming through Lake Erie during this game. So yeah, that does not bode well for Tua or Dylan. So take the under on the passing yards regardless. David Njoku is out. Jack Conklin is in the concussion protocol. But two things I want to mention for the Cleveland Browns. Mason Graham, he's got a knee injury. He's doubtful. We'll see if he plays. They mentioned there's some sort of long-term concern if they do push him. So I'm hoping they don't push him because there's no need to. It's a rookie year. It's bad weather. You're not doing anything this year. So I really hope that they are very cautious with Mason Graham. Mike Hall, another defensive lineman, he is expected to play, He could make his season debut today. The Browns refused to put him on IR or PUP. So they had a roster spot locked up for somebody that they knew would not play the first 6 weeks of the season because he's had multiple surgeries in the offseason. So that's another thing when we talk about culture. We talk about roster building. That's that. As far as the Dolphins, Elijah Campbell is out. Tyrell Dodson is in concussion protocol. And Storm Duck got an ankle injury, and he is questionable for this game.
I thought you were saying Storm's got a duck.
He might. Storm's out there, and he might. You never know.
Affleck.
So Jack Conklin is officially inactive. There we go.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, Jerm, who you got? We'll start you off with the pick.
Man, why do I gotta pick this slow ass game, man?
Because we did the spread and he did the injury report.
Vegas has the Browns as favorites, which is weird. Vegas actually has the Browns as 2.5 home favorites.
I hope H go crazy today. Give me the Dolphins, man.
Okay. I'm actually going with the Dolphins as well. I think Judkins will bounce back, have a nice seat, but I think – no, you know what? Give me the Browns.
Okay.
Screw it. Give me Cleveland.
So, I'm going to go
– Give me the trophy.
Yeah, he wants that trophy. So I'm neutral. So I'm just going to simply pick the Dolphins. But here's the reason why. Because as of right now, the Cleveland Browns are paying 8 quarterbacks. One of those quarterbacks are Deshaun Watson, which is going to lead us to our last segue. Is he going to find another home to be able to have the opportunity to throw the football again? Mo, please.
I say yes. I have no doubt in my mind. Deshaun Watson, if he wants it, keyword, if he wants it, because he's made enough money doing nothing for the city of Cleveland. I tell you that much. But if he wants it, if he still has the desire to play football, I think without a shadow of a doubt, and we'll talk about this in the next show, I'll give you some names, I'll give you some teams. I think without a shadow of a doubt, Deshaun Watson will be a starting quarterback in the NFL again. Now, he's not going to get the contract he wants.
Oh, no.
That's for sure.
Absolutely not.
And I don't think there's going to be 8 to 9 teams lining up for his services. That's for sure. But I think there will be enough teams that will be interested enough in Deshaun Watson, including the two teams that I'm looking the most at are the Arizona Cardinals and the Las Vegas Raiders. So without a doubt, I think when you look at what happened with Baker, when you look at what Joe Flacco did on Thursday, when you look at the history of the Cleveland Browns being a quarterback graveyard, I think there will be a general manager out there that think they can resurrect Deshaun Watson. So without a shadow of doubt, I think Deshaun Watson will be a starter in this league again.
They say quarterback go to Arizona to retire.
Hey, He could also have a happy ending over there.
But see, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Oh.
Trying not to say it.
But
when I was trying not to say it.
But we can end the show right now. It will be perfect. But we got a few more games we got to talk
about. Let's do it.
Let's just say this real quick before I don't want to don't go all misogynistic on me. But the thing I would like for everybody to understand is more than anything else, is Indianapolis will also probably be in play, because I think Daniel Jones is going to be a part of that Raider conversation too. Because you got to remember, again, one good year in Indianapolis seems to be something that get everybody a contract.
This is true. I mean, every backup that has been every quarterback that has started for the Colts since Andrew Luck retired, with the exception of Matt Ryan and Philip Rivers, because they retired, went on and started for another team elsewhere.
Oh, yeah,
every single one.
Which means, certain situations just need the right touch.
Right.
All right. So, y'all started. Moving right along, we're gonna go. New England.
I caught it. Don't worry. Go ahead. I got it.
It's run around the corner.
You got that's the one you got.
So moving right along, we are trying to get all of the games out the way. Y'all really don't care much about. Carolina Panthers, New York Jets. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but if you're a degenerate gambler, the spread is -1.5 for Carolina Panthers. The total is 41.5 even on the over/under. You get a -120 for the money line, but the New York Jets, if you pick the money line, you get an even spread and plus 1.5. Yeah, you guys have that.
Yeah, real quick on the injuries, Jalen Coker is making his season debut. Chuba Hubbard and Jatavion Sanders are also back for the Panthers, so they're at full strength. I don't like anything going on with the Jets. No one can ever convince me Bryce Young is a bad quarterback. Give me the Panthers, who I think get one of Bryce Young's very few road wins in his career. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen against the Jets. Give me the Panthers, money lines.
John.
Rico, if you're going to touch a running back this week for scoring a touchdown, Rico on fire. I ain't trying to be funny, and this is all jokes aside. If I'm another team, if I'm a team, I might call and see if Chuba is available if I need a running back, because I do believe that Rico has in the last couple of weeks kind of shown that he probably should be the feature back there.
Yeah, he should.
I think he's earned it.
He should.
Give me the Panthers though, because who wants to pick the Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit up here and try to overthink this one. I'll just go ahead and go with the Panthers as well. So next game on the docket. Once again, we're getting all of the games out the way that you don't care much about. This is a fun one, a Mike Ditka special. We got the New Orleans Saints versus the Chicago Bears. Shout out to Ricky Williams. The spread is -3.5 for the Chicago Bears. They are playing in Soldier Field. Total amount of points on the over/under is 44.5. If the Chicago Bears win via money line, you get a -210. New Orleans Saints, if they win, you get a positive 175. Chicago Bears, here's a fact that most may know or may not know. They are the only team in the NFL right now that has scored over 21 points in every game.
It's in my notes.
Take that what you want from that. Yeah. I think this is a really good game for them to go 4-2 and gain some confidence, because mainly when they start playing against teams where it's going to really matter a lot, they're going to need that confidence and that just that whether it's irrational or rational, just that to be able to lean on, to be able to make it a fight. This team is not that bad though. They're better than I expected.
I think you could say that about both of those teams playing in this game.
Yes.
Caleb Williams has passed for 200+ yards in every game this season. Now, the Saints defense is good against the run, but very poor against the pass. And one reason why the Bears has been scoring 21+ points every game is because their defense is also giving up 27 points per game. If this was in New Orleans, I would have had a much harder time picking this game. Because it's in Soldier Field and you're forcing this Saints team to be outside, I think the Bears will win this game. And I am leaning towards taking the Bears to cover because the Saints don't cover on the road unless it's like 12.5 points.
Interesting.
Bear down. Let's go.
Bear down. Yeah, we're going with the Bears. No. I got to pick New Orleans to make sure the Bears win. So I'm going New Orleans. It's been working this long. Damn it. I'm going to keep going with it. All right. So New England Patriots versus Tennessee Titans.
TP.
Yeah.
This not
much to talk about once again for my degenerate gamblers. It's a negative 6.5 points on New England. Actually, this might be a good pick for my degenerate gamblers. Total points is 41.5 on the over-under. Negative 290 plus 240 for the Tennessee. The game is at Tennessee if it means anything. But I got New England covering this. What I love about, their program, when they feel like something is working, they're not, playing conservative. They're putting their foot on your neck and making you bite the curve. It's a little American history for y'all. So I'm going to win.
Yes, sir. No doubt about it. Stephon Diggs and Harold Landry will be playing in this game. For the Titans, Arden Key and Calvin Ridley are both out. Mike Vrabel, a little bit of a revenge game, even though they're playing it down. New head coach. Mike McCoy, I think, is going to be a decent fit for Cam Ward moving forward. So even though the Titans don't have a favorable running matchup this week, I do think it's worth throwing in Tony Pollard in one of your parlays because I think Mike McCoy is going to stress running the ball. Just my opinion, but nonetheless, I think New England should handle this game. So give me the Patriots to win this game for sure.
New England should be able to pretty much take care of this game because, again, Vrabel versus rookie quarterbacks is something that I would actually bet on because defensively they're already solid. I think that they're going to play they're going to give them a lot of press man on the outside. And I think that they're going to really, really, really focus on making sure they send different types of blitzes to confuse the young quarterback. So give me New England to cover. I think this will be one of those games where the Titans may score 10 points, but New England will probably have 30.
Okay. Moving right along. We're making great timing, by the way. We're getting these teams out the way. See, that's the key to our time management. We get the teams out the way and the games out the way that we know ain't worth a damn talking about. So, another game that really ain't worth too much of a damn talking about, but we're going to talk about it anyway, is the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. They're playing at Kansas City. The time zone issue could be an issue for the Las Vegas Raiders if you care about that or count on that. That spread is 12.5. I don't like spreads that high personally for conference games. I got Kansas City winning, but I do not like those high spreads in conference games.
Yeah.
The total over and under is 45.5. I think I'll take the over on that one, though. And the money line for the Las Vegas Raiders, if you're feeling froggy, go ahead and leap because it's 475 plus 475 if you take the money line of just them winning. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, it's negative 750. So if you just take the money line, you're not really trying to make money, and it's okay. You just do it for the sport of it, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to pick 12 other money lines to even see any type of kickback if you're going to make picks like that. So do better.
Yeah, definitely. That's a game you stay away from. Important notes though. Brock Bowers out, Jacoby Myers is out, so that might make you feel more confident in taking the minus 12.5. It started at 9.5, so you could do the alternate spread and do the 9.5. Big one, obviously, Rashee Rice is back, so that even favors more the large spread. So if you want, I would actually support the alternate spread of 9.5 for this game.
Hey, they're about to kick their ass, y'all. So just go ahead and take that over. They probably might score 40. The Chiefs might be in full force this week because I'm just letting y'all know that now they got a receiver that can now they got the Holy Trinity together. You know what I'm saying? The dude that can win on the ground, the dude that can do it all, the guy who can fly, and then they got another dude who can kind of semi-fly. So it's going to get real emotional.
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. So,
and now that means that Tyquan Thornton is going to be like a rotational piece, and that's another fast guy. So, I mean, I'm it's plus 700 on him scoring a touchdown today. I mean, I might say he scores a 70-yard touchdown today. Just a little birdie told me.
Shoot, I'm about to play him now on my fantasy. I mean, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm 0-6 anyway. So this is a sleeper game for those who do not feel like watching belt to ass for their 12 o'clock noon games. This one might be a game that you want to partake in. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna leave room for the table to be prepared for our guys on this one, because this is a good game to discuss. So Philly got -2.5 on the spread. Minnesota is hosting the game in the Dome. The total points over and under is 43.5. If you pick Minnesota at home to win, it's plus 120. If you do not and pick Philly, it's -140. The table is set. I already put the utensils out. Fork, knife, spoon. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Mo, I just want to grab some of that tater salad right there real quick. I don't think that this game will be as good as I think, because I just don't know if Minnesota gonna be able to score. Because I know how to score. But I think Philly can contain a lot of the things that they do well. I think that Philly can also lock down in the red zone here, in the red area especially. And I think that's going to be the key to this game. Can you keep them out of the end zone? And that, if we play that game, Philly has the better, more efficient red zone offense, in my opinion, than the Minnesota Vikings does. And that's ultimately where I'm going to go. If it comes down to this, if it's about sustaining drives and playing fundamental football, complementary football, I'm taking Philly every day of the week against a team like Minnesota. And that's what I think is going to happen today. Complementary football wins the game. Give me Philly 27, Minnesota 17.
Bless him, Father, for he has sinned.
Because
they
put raisins in the potato salad. That's who's saying.
You doing. First of all, we don't put raisins in our potato salad. Second of all, potato salad is only good before it goes in the fridge. You put it in the fridge, I want no parts of the potato salad. I'm just being honest. Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yes. Yeah. Because at that point, never mind.
Yeah.
One thing I will not tolerate in the year 2025.
Oh, okay.
Is Carson Wentz slander. Okay. The Minnesota Vikings are top 10 red zone offense with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is throwing for 253 yards per game.
Okay. Go ahead.
The Eagles, offensively, were 1 of 9 on third down last week versus the New York Giants. On the flip side, the Giants were 11 of 16 on third down versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Giants had 3 red zone attempts, 3 red zone touchdowns. That's a problem. The Vikings have the second highest blitz rate in the NFL. They've had 13 sacks so far this year. This Vikings roster is good. Their only question mark coming into the year was the quarterback. And I love the way Kevin O'Connell is playing this, because he is making this a mountain out of a mole with this injury to J.J. McCarthy, because McCarthy is the emergency quarterback today. He ain't even the second quarterback today, because Kevin O'Connell wants to keep protecting the future's feelings. And I have zero issues with the way Kevin O'Connell is handling this. He hasn't named who his QB1 moving forward is for the rest of the season, because he hasn't had to make that decision. I'm going to go back to last year when Mike Tomlin was in the same predicament, only in reverse. with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. And he stayed with Justin Fields because he was waiting for Russ to get fully healthy. This is the same situation, only so much in reverse, because I feel that Kevin O'Connell wants to move forward for the rest of this season with Carson Wentz as his quarterback one, as he should. Because with Carson Wentz, you have a chance of making the playoffs. They have a good offensive line. They have a good defense. They have weapons all across the board. And they have a good culture. So, all that being said, the final storyline is the Carson Wentz revenge game. And as a wise man once said, revenge is the sweetest thing next to getting, you can fill in the blanks. Give me the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, man.
Give me Carson Wentz,
Hey.
2 passing touchdowns, Jordan Addison, 40-plus receiving yards, Justin Jefferson, 70-plus receiving yards, and give me the Vikings money line as my 4-leg parlay for this beautiful game. Tear down the Nick Foles statue while you at it as well, but we leave that for a different day.
Because he only make dollar bets. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, MJ, you got it. You got it.
So with that being said, been playing chess as a while, and there's this thing that they say when there is a pin piece, you PP on the PP. I think Philadelphia is going to TP on the BP. They are going to tush push on the beatable team.
Okay.
Yeah, see that? Which makes me love with the Eagles.
I love it.
TP on the BP.
That's bars.
Yeah. So, next game on the docket. We got the afternoon games are intriguing.
Very.
They're intriguing. After you had your food and settled, you ain't got yourself a cold one. It's a game that you can watch and be like, oh, okay, you know that movie that you seen that's kind of funny, that when it come on, you ain't going to turn it off. You'll watch it and you just, be good with your life. It ain't great, but it ain't bad either. That's what the 3 p.m. games are, with the exception of the game of the week. And we'll hold that off. So, as I say this, Washington Commanders, Dallas Cowboys, we'll start with them. And the only reason why we're starting them because they are a conference game. And Washington is gaining some traction. Dallas is still trying to figure it out. I don't know if CeeDee Lamb is back. I will leave that up to Mo to talk to us about. So the spread is they are actually giving the Washington Commanders plus 1.5 playing at Dallas. The total is a whopping 54.5 points on the over and under. And to be real, you might still want to take the over on this one. Money line is plus 105 for the Washington Commanders, negative 125 for the Dallas Cowboys. Mo, what is the injury report? I am intrigued to hear it.
This is a very interesting injury report. As we mentioned earlier, no Terry McLaurin, no Deebo Samuel, no Noah Brown. Dorrance Armstrong, former Cowboy, is questionable, did not practice all week. He's got a hamstring injury. On the plus side, however, Jonathan Jones, cornerback, former Patriot, I think former Lion as well. He's been activated today. Zach Ertz will play. He was limited in practice this week. And Sam Cosmi, interior offensive lineman, is making his season debut after tearing his ACL back in the playoffs. For the Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs is out. He suffered a concussion with having an accident at home. But the good news is CeeDee Lamb is back, and the offensive line is at full strength with all 3 Tylers expected to start today. I think this game can go so many different ways. However, without Terry and without Deebo, that's going to sort of cripple Jaden Daniels' options. As bad as this Cowboys defensive scheme is, because I think the players are actually better than what has been shown. I think the scheme is absolutely horrendous. Back to the Rexes and Joes versus X's and O's. Yeah. So as bad as that defense has been, I think without Terry and without Deebo, it sort of cripples them a little bit. One thing I'm not liking out of Jaden Daniels is he's not decisive enough this year.
Mm.
And I think that's a problem. Like, he needs to trust his eyes more, trust the process more, and just get rid of the ball. But that's not going to happen without Terry or Debo. So I think that's going to be an issue. I know a lot of people are leaning towards taking the over on Jaden Daniels passing yards. You gotta kind of be cautious of it now. While yes, the matchup on paper is great, he doesn't have the X's and Joes to combat the X's and O's. So that's the first part. Now, on the flip side for Dallas, with CeeDee Lamb coming back, that offensive line being healthy, the rapport that he's built with George Pickens, Jake Ferguson looks more like a NFL tight end this year. Like, he just looks more in shape. He looks more lean. He looks more athletic. And that certainly reflects. Javonte Williams and Jadon Blue are a good enough running back tandem.
They are.
So I think when you combine that with, not only are the Commanders shorthanded with their two best offensive weapons, on the flip side, defensively, they're having a ton of issues. Communication, tackling, and discipline. Those are three things that they are mightily struggling with. And that's going to be a problem against high explosive offenses, against offenses that have guys that are really good in the yak situations. So I think this matchup favors really well for the Dallas Cowboys to finally get a win that they shouldn't, like, this is not a game that they should just let slip through their hands. This game is much more for the Cowboys to lose than it is for the Commanders, mainly because they're shorthanded, but also because the Commanders have their own issues that aren't on the national spotlight, like the Dallas Cowboys. So give me the Dallas Cowboys to win this game.
Germ.
Yes. I see. Here's the thing. So, handy dandy phone here in my hand while I'm sitting here looking. I don't. Mo, everything you said, right? I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you, and I'm feeling where you're coming from, bro. I'm feeling where you're coming from. But here's my issue, bro. I just don't know what Commanders team we're gonna expect to see with none of his weapons.
Right.
Like literally, bro, I'm literally sitting here looking up the players on their he's gonna be throwing to. Like, I'm trying to see what type of energy we got. Like, bro, what are we gonna do?
Luke McCaffrey.
It's Luke McCaffrey.
But even Luke McCaffrey plays off of somebody. So who is he gonna play off of? When he's open, he's playing off of somebody. Correct. Unless this guy comes out and starts running some routes that we didn't know he had in an arsenal, or he's faster or quicker than we thought he was. Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing a guy who's going to make the impact that we want to make this, a game.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Here's the biggest thing for me, and Mo, I don't know how you feel about this, but this is something that's been on my mind heavy. Why can't Dak seem to throw the ball to CeeDee and George Pickens simultaneously in a game? Well, it's not like they play the same way. They have two contrasting different styles. In my opinion, CeeDee should be in a role that George Pickens is in, and George Pickens should be in more of the CeeDee Lamb role, because George Pickens is a better contested catch guy than CeeDee Lamb is right now. I'm not saying that to minimize what CeeDee is.
No, CeeDee
not at all.
Because purely from a scheme and schematic standpoint, bro, we're talking about a guy who can do everything on the field and play every position, which is CeeDee, but so can George. But George is a little bit more of a physical presence. And the physical presence is what I mean in jump ball situations. Even the way, like you seen it in the one game, it feels like the Cowboys played better on offense with George being the X and being the go-to guy in certain situations. Yeah. I'm not saying that you can't do that CeeDee is not good, because I love CeeDee Lamb. My thing is, I'm just simply saying, if CeeDee Lamb could be used more in the intermediate, shorter part of the field, yards after catch, and you let George Pickens get the chunk plays, the bigger plays, you need a big catch, you go to George Pickens, I think that this offense will be better, and I think that's the key to the Cowboys being a contender in the NFC in general.
Yeah.
Sure.
because I don't think that the Eagles is who we talk about as the measuring stick, right? Pause. Think about it in this particular way. Cooper DeJean can't cover George Pickens one-on-one. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what you think.
Totally agree with you.
It's not a situation where you want to see that.
That shouldn't even be debatable, but I'm with you.
So you if you look at it from a X's and O's standpoint, that's what George Pickens was supposed to bring to this offense, right? That one guy that the second corner could not cover.
Mm.
Now we're trying to put him against the wrong players, and we're not using him properly when CDs is around. And then now it starts to become, is this a Dak issue or is this a coaching issue? That is what I would pose. Because if they can't figure this out in the next couple of weeks, how can you pay George? How can you pay him realistically?
So the real answer to the question is, I'm not going to even ask that question. I'm just going to say, I'm going to counter that with another question. Can Dak just throw it to the open man?
So here's my answer to that.
Now, is that an organizational issue because you're trying to make sure that a guy that's getting paid a lot of money gets your ROI? And this is what happens when you mesh the financial element with the purity of the objective of the game.
People have told me, despite what I think, that I don't have a good poker face, despite what I think. And it's worse when the head is shining, because you could see it gets shinier.
I'm seeing the stage.
Yes. Because the question you just asked, MJ, without exaggeration, I'll give you a 45-minute podcast answering that question. I promise you.
It might be coming soon.
And it should. My short answer, Dak is a top 10 quarterback in production. I will not definitively say he's a top 10 quarterback in terms of the intelligent quarterbacking category. That's called IQ.
I like that.
As far as what Germ said, today is the first time in a month that they're both on the field together. George Pickens is now on the same page with this offense because of the CD Lamb injury. Could have been a blessing in disguise.
Could have been.
So if there's going to be a time to jumpstart this tandem, today's a good time to do it. And I don't think there's any reason why both of these guys combined should not have more than 125 receiving yards combined. Minimum. Like minimum. And I'm not saying CD has 100 and George has 25. Like in one of my parlays, I got CD 50 plus. I got George Pickens 50 plus. Because there's no logistical reason why that shouldn't happen today in this matchup.
Understood. So we all picking Dallas? Is that
yes.
Okay.
Derm, right?
It's hard not to pick Dallas because Washington don't got no playmakers, and that defense ain't stopping Dallas from doing what they gotta do.
No, they're not.
Yeah, Washington is wounded. I'll go with Dallas as well. Next game on the docket, we're gonna speed it up a little bit. So for these next two games, so there's room for the 7:20 and the game of the week. So Green Bay, Arizona. I got Green Bay winning. I'm going to continue to keep picking the other team that's playing Green Bay money line when it's over 3.5. I will continue to do that because they just keep people around.
They do.
So with that being said, Green Bay will win. The spread right now is -6.5, and they're playing at home in Arizona, if that means anything. 44.5 is the over-under. Money line is -400 Green Bay, +300 for Arizona. So give me Green Bay, but once again, from a spread standpoint, I wouldn't mind flirting with Arizona's spread.
I'm not doing too much with this. Green Bay, you guys need to win this game anyway. You need to win this game because, again, you need to continue to expand your portfolio of winning some of these games that you should win and taking care of some of the games that you shouldn't win. So it's time for you to step up to the page and to the big boy table. Let's do it.
Mo?
So I'm actually looking to see if there's any updates on Josh Jacobs because this is a 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock start. They don't have to announce that while we're doing this show, so we don't know yet. I will say that Jacoby Brissett, who is starting today for the Arizona Cardinals, looks like more of a professional quarterback than Kyler Murray, which is crazy to say. And MJ, you came up with something that made me go back and watch. You are absolutely right. The Packers find a way to keep opponents in the game. One thing that was a problem for me was it wasn't until the third quarter last week that I remembered that Micah Parsons is on this football team. That's a bad sign. So while I was very high on the Green Bay Packers heading into the season, they got a lot of issues they need to figure out quickly before Halloween, and Halloween is not far away. So definitely flirting with the Cardinals covering. Easily taking the Packers money line. I think there's no rhyme or reason why they should blow this game, but I'm flirting with the Cardinals money covering.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna all go Green Bay on that one. Another game is, to me, it's a sneaky good game if they are what I think they could possibly be. We're seeing the scratching of the surface of the New York Giants. We're seeing a taste of what it could be. And they're playing against the Denver Broncos team that, even though it's 4-2, I am not completely sold on their quarterback and the confidence that the coach has in their quarterback to be the gunslinger that he really shouldn't be, because you have everything that you need for him to just manage the game and be an elite team. So the spread is 7.5. They're giving the points, obviously, to New York. The game is at Denver. 40.5 is the over-under. You get a plus 320 on the money line, negative 425 for the Denver Broncos. The whole thing that I'm worried about with this game, though, is Jackson Dart, you got to slide or just stop running, bro. This is not the game to be playing that game.
Nope.
This ain't the one.
No.
Like, I know you fast. I get it. This ain't it. Hand it to Scatterbo. He likes that energy, clearly. You throw the ball and slide. That is it. Mo? No, John.
Yeah, John.
So look, this is what I like about this. Mo, have you had a chance to really watch some of the Giants defense like what was talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Do you agree with the sentiment that their secondary is also 3-6 Mafia, most known unknowns type of business? They are not like a bunch of name-heavy dudes, but they are sticky in man coverage. They are exceptional at being in throws. Like these windows that you're throwing to in the New York Giants are if they're like this for other teams, they're like this when you play against the Giants. It's that much, and you have to really be locked in and engaged in order for you to be able to do your job the right way against this team. With that being said, though, my issue with them is that I feel like Scatterbo needs to be a bigger part of their red zone offense. I think that we need to stop using Jackson Dart or Jason Dart, whatever his name is. You know, he needed to dart his ass. He needed to dart his ass and hand it to the Scatterbo so the Scatterbo can get up in the touchdown hole. And that's what we trying to do. I'm tired of seeing this every week because Scatterbo is really a really big catalyst for how they move the ball. Him on third down, being able to catch a 3-yard pass and turn it into 6-7 yards is a big part of how they're moving the football. So now we get to the red zone and we stop doing that all of a sudden. Fix it before. That's the problem. That's what's on the skull. If you want a skull, give it to Scatterbo.
Oh,
a T-shirt.
To your point.
Let's go.
To your point about scoring, my lock of the week, ATS.
Let's go.
Is the New York Giants with the points. You could take them at 7. You could take them at 7.5. You could take them at 8. You could even take them at 8.5 on FanDuel.
Nice.
That is the lock of the week. Because why is that so high, yet the points is so low? Anytime you get a high,
give them some game
minus with a low over-under, I lean towards taking the underdog with the points. I always do it, and it has not failed me yet this year. I am going with it again. I'm going with a 17-16 Denver Broncos win for our pick'ems. But this is going to be low scoring, low passing yardage, old school, running, including both quarterbacks. So if you're feeling even extra froggy, take both quarterbacks for an anytime touchdown run score. But I think the Broncos' number 1, number 2, number 3 focus is to make sure Jackson Dart doesn't do what he's done every single game, which is run for at least 50 yards. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I don't think Bo Nix is going to have success throwing in tight windows versus this pressure. Vice versa with Jackson Dart. 17-16, Giants with the points. Broncos win.
You know what?
Say,
Mo just give me the trophy. Give me the trophy, Mo. It's gonna be the Giants. Let's go. Giants upset of the week. Right here.
They're
Right
gonna
here.
win.
Yes.
Now they're gonna win. Now they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Mute him. Because now they're gonna win.
I'll have the control.
Now they're gonna win. Now the Dolphins gonna win and the Giants gonna win. Just because of what Germ just did. The universe just shifted because the Germ's so true.
Yeah, I'm not taking that game. I'm saying no way. Gamblers used to do the same.
Hey, but you're being honest though, y'all. I actually think this might be the best game of the week, low key.
Yeah, that's why I said it's really
low
sneaky.
key.
Forget the record. This is a sneaky game
because you
guys are playing great football.
Because if you look at this from that perspective, just like what you said about Bo Nix, I'm not understanding why RJ Harvey isn't getting more snaps. Bro, I like RJ Harvey more than I like J.K. Dobbins right now, especially what he's doing for them on the offensive end when he's catching the ball out of the backfield. Give a defense everything that they need on a Sunday against you by putting RJ Harvey out there. Steve Harvey's illegitimate other child needs to go out here and continue to play.
Oh my
but
God.
do it matter if your quarterback a gunslinger and is just refused to keep throwing it?
But you know what? Sean Payton is one of those coaches though that he can incorporate some of these things in the offense.
Yeah.
To get the guy. Bro, Sean Payton can design screen passes to get this guy to football.
Yes,
he has one of those guys. Why are we not using them?
Look,
let's get this last game out the way so we can let these people get ready.
We got 2 more. We got 2 more.
We got 2 more.
I gotta go get smack sheet before we go.
Yeah,
all right. So
we go through them pretty quick.
Yeah, game of the week record-wise, Indianapolis Colts, Los Angeles Chargers. It is at LA, a 3:05 game, which means it's a noon game on the West Coast. Indianapolis Colts is getting a positive 2.5. They're actually giving Indianapolis Colts the better record-wise team, plus 2.5 points. That should say a lot. The over and under is 48.5. Money line is plus 120 for Indianapolis. For Los Angeles Chargers, negative 140. I like this Chargers team, but just like the Clippers, I just don't believe in them. It's the same story every time. I'm not Kool-Aid.
They is like the Clippers.
Yeah,
they are.
I will not drink the Kool-Aid. I don't care what y'all do. Until I see it, until y'all change y'all name, change y'all y'all need to change everything until I move to Wyoming. I don't care. Yeah, something needs to change. I can't do it. So, with that being said, you see what my pick is. I'm going to go with the Colts. Go ahead.
I don't have – okay, so first of all, on the injury front, Josh Downs is out. Travarius Ward is out. They do get Kenny Moore back. I think a big reason why perhaps the Chargers are the favorites, one, they're at home, even though Commanders just went in there, took all their lunch money at home a couple weeks ago. But 2, Joe Alt could possibly be playing, but they get 2 defensive starters back, including Khalil Mack,
That's
who
big.
they desperately need
Correct.
because he provides so much. Look, y'all know how I feel about Daniel Jones this year.
Yes.
You know how. But I gotta look at the league. And there is nobody separating right now. Nobody. And because of that, I have no rhyme or reason, because I agree with everything MJ said. But I am going with the Los Angeles Chargers to take the home upset against the best team in football. And yes, I call them the best team in football.
Say less. Jerm, you still there, man?
Yeah, I want to know where he's going to pick, because this might be the trophy game right here.
It could be.
This might be the trophy.
It could be.
We'll circle back to him when he. There he is.
There
There
he
he
is.
is.
Now, I'm sorry, man. Life of the GM just never stops, bro. I had to take that call real quick. Sorry. Hey, now, with everything being said, though, I'm going with the Colts today. Let me tell you why I'm going with the Colts.
Bucket.
I just think that the culture and what they're prepared to do today, I know we're going to run the ball. I know we're going to try to protect the football as best we can. Those are the two ingredients that are going to be successful here. While the Chargers try, I think that the Colts can.
All right.
Makes sense.
Last one.
Last game, we got 60 seconds. We're going to go a little bit overtime. Y'all don't care. Atlanta Falcons versus the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers 4-2. Atlanta Falcons are 3-2. The spread is they are giving Atlanta Falcons plus 1.5 points. 47.5 is the over-under. It's even on the money line with the Atlanta Falcons, San Francisco 49ers, negative 120. I like how Atlanta is playing football. They finally, figured out the blueprint. We got two dudes that nobody can stop. We should just give them the ball as much as possible. Sounds like a plan to me. So, and I love their defense, how they hunt.
Yes.
The hunts. I don't know the statistics behind it, but from what I watched them just off the eye test, they send people on a regular basis.
They do.
Because you're not going to stop these teams anyway. You might as well try to go get the ball.
Yep.
I don't know why.
So I actually mentioned Jesse Minter on the radio this week with shout out to Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Johnny.
Sorry. Anyways, but the reason I brought up Jesse Minter was also to include the Falcons with their defensive staff and their defensive coordinators. There's a history there. There's a connection there. But I was going to mention that in the last segment. Anyways, real quick, I went back and forth with this game. I'm still back and forth with this game. Ultimately, I gave the edge to the Atlanta Falcons because birds fly and fish swim. And without Fred Warner and Yatir Gross-Matos and Nick Bosa, I didn't think the Nick Bosa injury was a big deal. But when you combine that with Yatir Gross-Matos and Fred Warner, the best defensive player in the league.
Yes, he is.
It's just too much to overcome. It really is. Ricky Pearsall is out. They just released Marquez Valdez-Scantling from IR, so he's going to be free to sign with anybody in a couple of weeks. And this, again, Atlanta, everything MJ said, but John Robinson, if it wasn't for Baker Mayfield and Daniel Jones, is my MVP candidate, and he might catapult to the top of that list after this weekend. Give me the Atlanta Falcons to win a close game. Like I'm gonna say 25-20.
Okay.
Atlanta.
Okay. Jerm.
Man, that's easy to me. I'm just give me Atlanta.
Okay. I'm gonna go 49ers on here because it seems like injuries just don't matter with them.
They don't. They don't.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. No matter who get injured, they just plug somebody else in and still get the same production. So whoever's going to back up Fred Warner, he probably gonna look like Fred Warner. Light.
So remember the happy hour when Johnny was in there and they accidentally called you instead of called me.
Yeah.
And then we just took over for 90 minutes on Memphis Airwaves.
I remember that.
One of the things I mentioned was the 49ers depth. And that's why I loved them heading into the season. The Fred Warner one. That's I don't know what it's equivalent to.
Ray Lewis.
The one. That's right. Like that's the one. That they could have overcame every single injury that has happened so far. Not that one. Even though I like D. Winters, I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So we're about to wrap up the show. Y'all need to get prepared, get y'all nachos, y'all Rotel.
Yes.
That y'all can get whatever drink that y'all can get. There's no gonna go to a day party. Hey, get a mimosa. Who cares? Final thoughts, John.
This is a good week for everybody to start. Listen, make the safe bets this week, y'all. The safe for sure bets. Everybody, let's win some money this week. Let's take some of the safe and for sure bets. And listen, stop betting $5 and $10. And no, this is no shot to anybody here on this platform. Please don't take it that way. Stop making $5 and $10 bets thinking that you're gonna get out of the hood. You're going to have to bet $100, $200 sometimes on some of these for sure bets to get yourself out the hood. I'm just saying, no small bets if the goal is to get out the hood. If you just gamble for fun, then make all the dollar bets that you want.
Yeah, parlay, I got a fun one. All right. It's Caleb Williams, 200 yards. Romo Dunze, 50 yards. Pat Mahomes, 250 yards. Keenan Allen, 4+ receptions. Dak Prescott, 300+ yards. And Matthew Golden, 80+ receiving yards.
All right. I got a win-loss money line, and I'm just making up. I make mine up as I go along, as I talk to them. I get the information in there and just make it up. So win-loss money line, we're going to go Carolina. We're going to go New England. We're going to go Chicago. We're going to go Dallas. And we are going to stop right there.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Shout out to everybody in the comment section, man. Shout out to our quarterback. We appreciate you, MJ. We like the tempo. We like the pace. Birds fly, fish swim is a life lesson. Just be who you are.
Yes.
That's it. Take us home, True.
22. See you later.